All right, I'm on the way to drop off a repair job, a Megatouch Aurora that a client needed it fixed. It was actually over a week ago that I got it in my shop, but there were some curveballs, and then also for this entire week, he hasn't been able to meet up with me or bring it to me to pick it up. But I told him, I said, well, it kind of worked out because there were curveballs. There was an issue with, loading a fresh install of Ion 2011 and Ion 2011.5 was what was supposed to be on there. There was some hurdles with that just because I couldn't just clone his hard drive because his hard drive was the issue. So you had to do a fresh install, and I figured it out. Now that I know the system, I know how to perform these installations from scratch. It's going to be very easy now. And as long as I'm going to burn discs for all the different years and have them on hand and have all the different readers, because you need different DVD readers for different versions of the game, different models. So anyways, I'm dropping this off. I got it all pimped out. The other thing too is it turned into a little bit bigger of a job, nothing too crazy, and I'm adding that to the charge. I basically discovered that his main exhaust fan was dead. Not completely dead, but it was pretty much dead. His main exhaust fan would not spin, and you'd have to get it started with your finger, which is a bad sign, right? That's not good. If your main exhaust fan on the lower part of the unit does not activate by itself when you turn that power on, you have no exhaust. Now, there is one more exhaust fan up top, but that's only one exhaust fan, and these Megatouches are known for dying because of heat. Heat kills your motherboard, heat kills your hard drive, heat kills all sorts of things. And that's what Megatouches are kind of notorious for, is too much heat, not enough cooling. So in this Aurora, he had a bad exhaust fan, or the lower exhaust fan. There's only two exhaust fans. And then he also had a bad processor fan. Luckily I caught that, because when I took everything apart and I had the board slid out, because you can't see anything that's in there until you take the whole back off and you slide the boards out and you undo everything. I noticed when I was turning on the game, most of the time that processor fan was not starting by itself. Now sometimes on a restart it would start up and it would spin, but one of the ways you can tell that these fans are dying is if you take your finger and you just kind of try to free spin them when the game is off, you'll feel that there's a little bit of resistance. You can feel it. You'll feel that it should be 100% loose. It should be so easy to just tap the fan and get it to spin. It should be so loose and free spinning. You feel any sort of resistance, you know that fan is on its way out. And both of these fans, that was the case. They were both starting to lock up. And I told him, I said, dude, he even said he sold this game. He sold this game sight unseen to a customer. So that means I'm dropping off this game to him, and somebody else is going to purchase it. They're going to pick it up. They already bought it, apparently. And I said, dude, you've got a ticking time bomb on your hands, and I don't want to get blamed for this game breaking, very quickly, because it's going to break very quickly. You're missing one entire exhaust fan is not working. So now you're not getting your heat circulating out of the game. His intake fan is also old. It works, but you can hear a little bit of a noise, and I'm like, I don't know. His other exhaust fan up top works, but again, it's the original fan. He had all original fans on this thing, and I told him, I said, you have no lower exhaust fan, and your processor fan is dead as well. I was like, dude, this game's gonna bust. Your processor's gonna overheat. Your motherboard's gonna overheat. Your capacitors are gonna start swelling, and you're in for your customer is gonna have a broken game on their hands who knows? It could last a month. It could last 2 months, 3 months. I would be shocked if it lasted a year. Honestly, with those fans dead like that, no fight. There's no way. I really think it would be if somebody played the game once a day, every single day for a month. I guarantee you, it'd probably break by the end of the month. Like if you left that back door closed, because when you leave all the doors closed, there's not good circulation. These games are like really sealed up, and they were made really sealed up with not a lot of access inside because they were made for sports bars, and they wanted to make sure nobody could stick anything in there to like jimmy the locks and steal money out of it. So it's for security. They kind of made these things real tight and not a lot of big holes or gaps or like big slots for the cooling fans. But it also serves as a self-destruct thing, where these things, if your cooling fans are not functioning properly and they're not hitting the right speeds, your game is going to die. Something in your game is going to break, and you're going to be constantly replacing parts. So I didn't like upcharge them a ton of money. I just said, hey, I'm already in your game. I'm already working on it. Say, hey, this is what it's going to cost for me. This is what it's going to cost for me to replace these 2 little fans. And it was not a crazy task, pretty quick. I also tacked on money for dropping it off to him directly. I added an extra charge too. So because he never has time to meet up with me or come to my place, and I'm busy as hell too. So our schedules are not lining up. So extra charge for the fans, extra charge for the drop off, and plus I had to go over into this direction anyways to go to a store. And I was like, oh, this will be perfect. But it's working out. So pretty cool. I took a bunch of videos of it. I'll organize those videos of the job itself. And yeah, another successful job. Yeah. And you can charge pretty good money because nobody else is doing this shit. And so you can charge an hourly rate that is pretty crazy. Yeah, so yeah, just rolling on. Yeah, boy.